All right. So this is going to be a recap here for this April 25th of 2023. This is going to be a Tuesday. Okay day, not a great day. So let's start off with the first hour of trading. You know, I made a trade on the gold, sold the gold. It was around 8:30. I'm sorry, about 9:38, something like that. Was looking for this target down here. We did get fairly close to target. I thought we were going to hit target. We did not hit target. This was actually an HF3 short. So we had an HF3 short. Did not hit my reversal. This became an HF1 buy on the reversal. Now, you know I've talked about these patterns before. The HF1 is one of my stronger patterns, so I did reverse. The only problem is I didn't reverse with any size, and I really should have, because the probability of it coming back down is pretty slim once we get that first reversal, okay? So, I did finally hit a profit target up here. I did take profit, but once again, it wasn't enough to cover my loss, and I ended up losing $294 on the gold. Let's see here. I did also sell the mini NASDAQ. Let's take a look at that real quick. I believe I did that within the first hour as well. Alright, so here is going to be the mini NASDAQ trade. Before we do that, I think you also saw me take a short on the mini Russell. Mini Russell was a nice little trade, but the biggest one was going to be once again on the mini NASDAQ. Mini NASDAQ tends to be the one that I make the most on because my targets, I typically go for much larger targets because of its volatility. Before we get started, please hit that thumbs up button, the like button. Let me know that you are enjoying these videos, that you're getting something out of it. Keep in mind, folks, I don't make anything on this. I am doing it as a courtesy to show you that there is another way of trading these markets, all right? You don't have to use all these indicators available. Everybody is pretty much using the same tools. Some are very good at it, but a lot of it takes a lot of experience to master some of the tools that you see available, whether you're trading, regular classical chart patterns like the pennants, and or you're trading breakouts or support and resistance, whatever. That takes a lot of time to really master that skill. The beautiful thing about what I do is I've simplified the process down to just two tools. One tool is a set of 4 different patterns that I use to set up my buy and sells, and the other one is Einstein, which we call Einstein, which provides us with the profit targets. Each one of these tools have a probability over 70%, and they've been working for the last 35 years, so I know that these are solid. And also, more importantly, there's a reason why they work. There is a certain rhythm to the market, and these get in tune with that rhythm. They're very adaptable to the market condition. Unlike most of your indicators, they cannot adapt to different market conditions, okay? So, that being said, if you are liking these videos, please show me that you are enjoying them. Give me a thumbs up. That's the way you support my channel. And also let me know to continue to do this. Like I said, I am doing this for the first hour as a courtesy for those that may be thinking about wanting to trade, having a difficult time with trading. I have really simplified the process, and I have 40 years behind me as a trader, so I have a lot of information and a lot of knowledge about these markets. One of my favorite, obviously, is going to be the indices. I've been trading the indices from day one. And I also have traded gold, and I've also traded crude oil and natural gas as well. But the biggest one has always been the indices. So you'll see that I tend to do much better on the indices. Also, I like trading indices because it's very easy for me to also sell indices. Okay, so the platform that I use whenever I'm trading, I use something called NASDAQ. It is a government regulated exchange. Okay, so it is a very good exchange. And there's certainly some benefits that come from using Nadex. All right, so that's what I'm using. I'm using something called Knockout. So it's just like trading spot, but there's some advantages to trading with knockouts. All right, so that's basically what you're seeing here. So anyway, So yeah, so I mean, it was a pretty pretty simple setup. I did have an HF1 short, once again, is one of my favorite sells. On the NASDAQ, I entered in around 905, 906. And I held this for quite a while because it never hit my stop in reverse, but it did finally hit my profit target right here on this bar as it penetrated this green bar, and that was at 1013, I think it was. No, 1012. Hit my profit target, got out, and that was it. So I ended up, that's what really saved the day there, was that nice little NASDAQ trade. All right, so let's take a look at our stocks, and let's take a look and see how we did with, we started with ASTS. Let's look at that. All right, so let's take a look at ASTS. If you're in the during the first hour of our show this morning, you know that I entered ASTS. First trade was a really beautiful trade. It was an HF2 buy over here, bought in, I think it was around 845, 846. Came up and hit my target, and that's why I ended up taking profit, okay? And I did have one additional target higher up. I went ahead and I took profit after I saw that it wasn't going to go to this higher target and started to pull back. I went ahead and got out. And I think I ended up making like $230. Where I ended up making a mistake was I did not have an additional entry. What I did have, though, is I saw this target getting ready to get hit. I really thought by buying here I was going to just get up there and get out. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and it turned around. They had a flush, and I ended up getting out. Well, my stop was going to be right at my initial entry when I first bought this morning, but ended up getting filled a little bit below that. So the net of it, unfortunately, was $610. So once again, you know, I didn't really enter on one of my patterns, which I should have done. I think I really liked the fact that it was going parabolic on us. I really thought that we were going to get up here at least to the 577. Not to say that that won't be hit. There is some longer term projections that are still in place. They are still holding to see if we can get that 577, but I'm certainly not going to hold it anything beyond that initial entry down here at HF2. So once again, that was me just not following the system. But you know what? That's going to happen from the time. Sometimes I'm going to be right. Sometimes I'm going to be wrong. Always the best trade is going to be the initial entry and going for that first, sometimes even second target if Einstein has a cluster of them. When I mean cluster, you know, you have a target sitting up here at 526. A lot of times you have several patterns that all line up. You may have one at 528. You may have one at 530. That's what I mean. My clusters are all real close together. You don't have this kind of spread where you have one sitting at, 527 all the way up here at 577. Typically, you're going to hit that first cluster, all right? And it may take a lot longer, but for us day traders, we certainly don't want to hold through that kind of loss until it hits that higher level, okay? And it never did hit that. If you're just curious to see what it did, it never did get up there, but it is on its way, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it finally come up to that, eventually getting up to that 577. So we'll see what happens on that. But anyway, that was it for me on that. I did trade HIBS. Now, HIBS is kind of an interesting stock. It's been on and off my radar for some time. I have been trading in and out. It's very slow. I like it because it's very slow and it's just gradual. You don't have a lot of whipsawing going on, so it's just a really cool stock to trade, and it's been super bullish here. I just like the fact it just keeps going up and up. So let's see what I did on HIBS. HIBS, that came in later on. It wasn't during the first hour, but I do want to show you that trade nonetheless. All right, so here is our entry. Now, this was a beautiful entry on HIBS. I wasn't real excited this morning about the fact that we had very low volume, but the spread between the bid and the ask, I think, was only 2 cents. So I'm okay with that. I did get a fairly decent entry, and it was an HF1, which I really like on my HF1s. Now, as we came up to this first level, I was looking at Bookmap. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Bookmap, that's something that you can get as an add-on to the Thinkorswim platform, or you can go directly to Bookmap and subscribe to the service. But anyhow, one of the things that it does, it gives me an indication of where the majority of the buy and sell tickets are, and I just didn't see a whole lot of selling coming in. I saw a lot of buying, So I ended up holding on to this, and that's the only reason why I held on to it, because I just wasn't seeing any really good size coming in and wanting to take the, pushing this thing in the other direction. And it was just a smooth sailing. As you can see here, HIB is just one of those stocks that just moves real slowly. You never have to really sweat. Hit the first level, kind of bounced around, stayed at that first level, and then it started moving higher. And I finally ended up getting out, and I was in this trade for quite a while. I entered this, most of you on the first hour saw me enter this, and then I went ahead and I ended up getting out. I know it was way down here. Yeah, I ended up getting out. After we passed through this first level, we were just going sideways. I thought we were going to go up even higher, which we did. We did. But I went ahead and got out here. I didn't want to hold it much longer. And I went ahead and got out on that. And they ended up making 195. Certainly wasn't enough to offset ASTS. But it was just a slow grind all day long. So the net of it on the stocks down 415. And I think it's a really good combination when you're trading stocks, at least for me, trading the indices, unless you're a seller in stocks. Right now I am not selling any stocks, but I'm a big seller. I love selling. But I will, instead of selling a stock, I love selling indices. So you'll see me get aggressive on the short. So I think a combination, trading the stocks and trading one of the indices. You don't have to trade all of them. You could trade an E-mini S&P, or, you can trade a mini Russell or a mini NASDAQ. It's up to you. You don't have to trade, a couple of them like I do. And it just seems to really balance out that equity, okay, instead of just sticking to just stocks or whatever. Because typically when the stocks are weak, and they're just not holding their gains, then man, you can really clean up on those indices by taking those nice patterns and shorting those indices. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of what I do, and that's what I like to do, and I think it's just a really, really good strategy. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today. Once again, remember, hit the like button, support my channel, let me know you want me to continue on doing this. Also, we do this every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. First hour is available to everybody. And then I continue on in our live trading room with our subscribers. I do broadcast through Zoom. There is no delay on Zoom. Of course, when we're going through YouTube, keep in mind there is the delay. So never try to blindly follow my trades or try to even attempt to take these trades, because remember, there is a delay and it will make a difference. Okay, so the key is that if you like to learn how to do it, we certainly offer you that opportunity to teach you my method. If you just want to follow along, then you can certainly join our live trading room and just follow my trades live without a delay for an additional 2 hours besides the first hour we do free every morning. Okay, so I trade for a good 3 hours, and then throughout the day, if I see something I really like, I may jump back in, but the majority of the trading is going to be during that first 3 hours. I do come back from time to time, and I will trade on that on the power hour, which is that last hour of trading. But it seems like the majority of my gains are going to be in the morning. I think that's pretty true for the majority of people, unless you just have a super strong stock. Then you can get in after the afternoon dip and buy it again for that second rip up to the as we go into the close. Nonetheless, that's it for today. Hopefully we'll see everybody first thing in the morning. And also remember, if you join my live trading room in the morning and you're in chat, just if you see something, a stock that you like, you want me to look at it, I'll be glad to do that. I can run it across my patterns. I can run it across Einstein, and I can give you my thoughts on it and let you know what my patterns and Einstein is showing in terms of whether it's going up or down, and give you some targets, some levels to take a look at. Okay, that's it. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you first thing tomorrow morning.